We're live. Welcome back to Scales of Safety with me, Pete Collins, where I'm here to teach you straight up how we navigate regulation today. So really, I want to get the insight for you guys so that you're able to go and research and apply and what do they really mean? How do we understand regulation? How do we find them? How do we download them? Short clip, video into how we do this. First thing I want to do is show you how to and where to find them, which goes to the HSC website. So we'll go straight to the HSC website. Here we are, and let's just think of something commonly that people are all aware of, which is chemicals. So control of substances hazardous to health. Oh, there we are, look, COSH regulations, bang. Right, here we are. Now always hit publications, and what are we looking at here? We got the L5 there, look. That 12th of April, there we go, 2023, look. So we take that, there they are. You can download them, a free PDF, wunderbar. Now, like people, we've got here 3 levels of law. We've got regulations, all right, ACOPs, and guidance. Now, what do we mean by these 3 levels? At the top of the tree, you've got your Act of Parliament, which is the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974. That's a goal, really, set sections in that act. I'll do that in a separate video. Underneath that, then, you're going to have regulations. These are like subsections that will go out and say, well, these are specific in industry in which we must apply. So we have things like regulation, which is known as the regulation white box, and then use keywords like shall or must. And we've got to do that. You're not going to escape it, really. It's the law. And then underneath that, we've got something called an approved code of practice. The ACOP really is a balance. It's a basis of, for me, reasonably practicable measure. Are we doing enough, and can we do any more? Well, that's really what the court gives you, or the law will say to you. Well, you're free to follow it if you wish to follow it. If you choose not to follow it and we feel you could have followed it, well, guess what? It's a special legal status, and they can use it against you. So, that's the way we look at an ACOP. And this is what I used to say. You shoulda, woulda, coulda, but you didn't. So at the end of the day, you should have done it. The key word is should. So that's a balance of can we, shall we, should we, and are we doing enough when it comes to an approved code of practice? Underneath there, you've got guidance, and guidance is set as a baseline, and it's commonly, there's no legal duty under guidance, but it's known as best practice. Nice work. So that's the way we look at guidance as we break those down. Shall or must, should, and, well, it's guidance, best practice. So let's have a look at them, shall we? And let's break them down for us there. We're onto the HSC website. Here we go. So, okay, usually at this point I will ask a learner to pick a number, but, I suppose I could do it myself. A lot of the time they will go for 7. So let's go and have a look at that. So regulation 7. Now, when we see the reg, look, we've got here, every employer shall. There you go. There it is. White box. You've got to do it. That's the law. So if you're going to quote legal arguments, I'm going to really teach how to quote them from the fact that you've got shall or must, an ACOP, and then a guidance, because you'll probably need that in your NG2 or even in your NG1. You'll have to quote maybe the Act. There's usually an Act question in the scenario-based assessments. But that's how we really look at those levels there. So shall or must, white box, got to be done. Going down then, again, that's all compliant from the law. We have an ACOP here, look, a prevention of exposure. Now, it's not the content I'm teaching you, it's how to read it and how it's applied. So we've got now, you don't always see it. You sometimes will see the word should be achieved by measures other than PPE. There we go. So what they're saying is we should be using more of the top of the hierarchy of control here than as opposed to that bottom of the tree there. So the ACOP really is known as the approved code of practice, and commonly it's got a special legal status. Now, they will use something called Section 40. If you don't do it, you've got Section 40 from the Act, which means it's the onus of proof that you've got to do. They'll use it and say, well, okay, you didn't do that. Well, now it's Section 40. Show us what you did do, and we'll feel if you did enough. So that's the way we look at reading an ACOP there and reading that. And I would quote, so if I was to use this, I would say, Regulation 7, ACOP, paragraph 87, 7.1 states that the duty to prevent exposure should be achieved by measures other than PPE. So I've quoted the reg, the ACOP, paragraph 87, 7.1, duty to, and that's really, or I might say A or B if it's here, look. So we've got here regulation, if I was just to quote the top part for you here, keep it simple. Regulation 7.1 states that every employer shall, or it might be 7.1a states that, 7.3a states that the design of appropriate work processes and systems. So that's just a quick insight to how you read regs, how you read the, and how you download them. What do they mean? So that's it. There you go. Thank you very much. Pete Collins, Scales of Safety. Best of luck with your studies. I don't do it for likes. I don't do it for subs. I do it for you.